Alright, Shalom, giving all praise unto Bashim Korash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and I honor your brothers that we're pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And above everybody, I come on out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashim Korash. Giving all praise unto Bashim Korash. It's going to be a relatively simple video, a relatively straightforward video, based upon this new controversy that Jake is pushing out there in the last minutes, the last days of the last days, the last moments of his kingdom. And Jake is talking about, you know, the heathen women, and that's the point of contention. That's the thing that they want to be dealing with right now. So let's start first and foremost with the mindset you're supposed to be in right now. Okay, the mindset you're supposed to be in right now, like it says within the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, is you're supposed to be hasting within the coming of Yahweh Shai. You're supposed to be telling the people and warning the people of the impending MOTB that's getting ready to be made mandatory. The impending time of Jacob's trouble that we can clearly see is on the horizon, which really already in the time of Jacob's trouble, with the gas prices so high, and with the, you know, with the coming AI and everything that's going to take a whole bunch of people's jobs. Pretty much we're already in that time of Jacob's trouble, and it's only going to escalate with time. And in these moments is when you see these cats come out and they start to talk about weird doctrines and weird things that we don't see line up with the things within the scriptures. Our forefathers had concubines of other nations. We got laws within the scriptures that tell us how to deal with the concubines, and in situations where the Most High said, look man, you know, I see what these Canaanites were doing out there within the land. I don't want you to be like that. Don't deal with them, right? Because you're gonna become like a heathen. Okay, you're gonna be becoming like a heathen. That's gonna make me angry against you. So the Most High said, don't deal with these, but these other concubines you can have, man. Right? You see a Elamite or whatever, you can have them. But now really the biggest downfall that you could possibly have is Eve. And that's always been the case, man. Eve's gonna take you to the church. Eve's gonna come with that Gardinian philosophies, the ideology that she's equal to you and all of that. She's gonna come with that, man. Right? The Edomite woman, the Ishmaelite woman, they're gonna play their role. I know it, I've experienced it. Notwithstanding, with the Edomite woman, you gotta be careful. They kind of got that sociopath DNA with them. You know, you gotta pick the right ones when it comes to them Edomites. And really that goes for anything. You know, you gotta use discernment. Same thing with Eve. You know, just because we say, you know, stay away from Eve doesn't mean a decent Eve comes in your life. You're gonna be like, get out of here, bitch. You just gotta use wisdom. But for the most part, as a generalism, these heathen women, right, Edomite women included, right, you got some that look good, some of them that look great. You're telling me that under good circumstances I can't deal with that? What are you talking about, man? The scripture talks about how that they're not on the same level as a wife. We don't go into contracts with them where, you know, you got a contract with you got an Israelite woman. That's not the level that she's on. Right now, do we get a hammer and bash her across the head with it? Nah, man, come on. But she is gonna get the jackhammer. She is gonna get the jackhammer, so to speak. And there ain't nothing wrong with her, provided she's single, provided she hasn't got a partner, married, whatever. You know, the laws of adultery still apply, right? The laws of adultery still apply, notwithstanding when it comes to the concubines. The Most High put it within our law that, you know, when we go and take over a nation, and then amongst those nations, excuse me, after we take down that nation, we see something that we like, then we deal with it appropriately according to the law. We see they basically had to come underneath our vibration. So the things that was associated with their idolatry that they had, you know, hairs and nails, the Most High said, cut it off. Give her time to mourn for our people. After she's mourned for our people, go out there and be fruitful. And that's within our law. But, you know, it's the last moments of this kingdom, right? You can really see things are moving fast. You can really see things are moving fast, man. You can really see the Most High is having these prophecies come to pass. And right now is when Jake wants to go crazy. Right now is the time Jake wants to go on a platform with known heathen men. Okay, this guy's a known heathen man. So Sarnetta is a known heathen man. Okay, he's a Jake, but he's a heathen man. Scripture says if you don't come to learn, then count him as a heathen man. Sarnetta is a heathen man. The guy ain't right within his mind, right? Isn't he into all of that black power and Egyptology BS? So that's his doctrine. So what we doing here? Let's use, you know, us as an example. Let's use Great Millstone as an example. It's like us going to vocab and doing all of these interviews and seeking vocabs seeking validation from vocab. Now, when he comes, obviously we deal with him appropriately, but when it comes down to it, let's be real about it. We don't want this Edomite around us, man. But Jake is comfortable with these. Jake is comfortable with these platforms, man. Jake is comfortable being around guys that have been known to pretty much, you know, take away from this truth. Jake is happy to go on these platforms. Maybe he gets some popularity or some fame or whatever. But man, I wouldn't want to be around this guy, man. I wouldn't want to be around this guy, man. Okay, this guy is not gonna wake up to the truth. He's not a part of the truth, right? He might have a following or whatever, but remember the scripture. What the scripture says, man. Great is the way that leadeth to destruction. Great is the way that leadeth to destruction. But really, the point I'm trying to hit home is, why is Jake talking about this right now? Why you got it to where Israel is focused on this right now? This is not the time to be, you know, it's a minor talking point. This is not the thing that's supposed to be at the forefront. Yo, brother, what you dealing with? You dealing with a white woman? Yeah, I'm dealing with a white woman. What, brother, you dealing with an Elamite woman? Yeah, I'm dealing with an Elamite woman. What problem is that for you? Okay, am I going off on the doctrine? No, brother, you're not supposed to deal with a heathen woman. The scripture say I can. What's Jake doing, man? This ain't the time to be, you know, really using that, doing a 2-3 hour breakdown on concubines. Jake is really doing a 2-3 hour breakdown on concubines right now. Man, that's crazy, man. I'm not speaking about this video specifically, by the way. I don't know how long the actual video was, but really, this is the thing that Jake is really having a focus on, a focal point right now on. When there's so much prophecies are coming to pass, there's so much things that's moving right now. Do they believe in the chip? I don't know if they believe in the chip. I don't think they do. And these are the things that you're supposed to be looking out for, right? Being circumspect, breaking it down according to the scriptures the correct way. And Jake is right now talking about, oh, you can't deal with an Edomite woman. You can't deal with an Edomite woman. You can't deal with an Ishmaelite woman. It's just crazy, man. Just crazy. Okay, and it kind of makes me think, if these guys have sold out, you know, Esau will kind of tell them, look, man, tell your people not to be dealing with our people. It makes you kind of think that. Makes you kind of think that, you know, if you get the bag and they say, look, man, this is what you got to say. You can't say, right? You can't say you could deal with an Edomite. You could deal with the Edomite women. You can't say that. You can't talk about the chip, right? Here's your 501c3 each other, which I don't know if they got a 501c3 each other, but it just makes you think. Kind of sounds, you know, seems fishy, because these same cats, they all have a similar way of approaching things. They're all very similar. Okay, it's all very similar. They don't talk about the chip. They, you know, some of them think that some of them preach about Cornelius being an Edomite. Some of them all, you know, some of them speak about the Edomite woman. You can't deal with the Edomite woman, and that's all part of their doctrine. So, you know, it's kind of fishy in a way. You know, in a way, it's kind of fishy, but you know, it is what it is. We're gonna see what's what when Yahweh Shai returneth, and when Yahweh Shai returneth, that's when we're gonna know who really sold out when it comes to this truth, man. That's what we're gonna know. Okay, we're gonna know who sold out, but we know certain cats that coming out with these bugged out doctrines, they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it, man, because you ain't approaching this thing in the spirit of truth. Okay, you ain't approaching this in the spirit of truth. You're going off. Okay, you're going off. In any event, yeah, man, you could deal with an Edomite woman, you could deal with an Ishmaelite woman. Just be careful with them Edomite women. Some of them are prone to sociopathy. It's just within their DNA. If you're gonna go for an Edomite woman, go for one that worships the grounds you walk on. All right? Remember, you're a Jake, you're an Israelite, you're a prince. Really, any woman that you deal with, you really want to be dealing with a woman that's, you know, she, you know, when you come in the room, like she's got that look about you, you know. Like you just, you know, like you just come off stage, you know. That's how your woman's supposed to be looking at you, you know, especially if you haven't seen her for a long time. Otherwise, you know, you just, you know, the power dynamics is all off. Okay, that's kind of like how I like it. I like it where, you know, I'm being chased as opposed to being the chasee. I've been in that position where you've seen a girl that you like or whatever, and you know, you're feeling her, and she ain't really, you know, she's digging you, but she's not digging you on the same level. That creates, you know, problems, especially when you're dealing with these Edomite women. Okay, you know, remember, we're still Israelites, we're still niggas as far as this world's concerned, right? So you gotta be careful. But as touching these other women, man, they love Jake, man, straight up and down, man. Ishmael, Elam, who else comes to mind? Japheth. All of these women, man, they're waiting. Ammon. What are you talking about, man? Ammon? What was they saying? I was watching one video. They was all up into Jake, man. We like the black man. We like the black man. I was watching some video with these Ammonite women. Okay, they was all up into us, man. Okay, they was all up into that. But again, you just got to be careful, man. You got to use discernment. You got to realize there's also a class system, and Jake is really at the bottom of that class system in the eyes of the elites of these people. So that, just use discernment, man. Okay, use discernment. Just because I say these heathen women love Jake doesn't mean to say they ain't gonna be certain ones amongst those people that are of elite status. Okay, they really are about their people, which is prominent within any culture. Amongst these Edomites, you got some Edomite elitists, right? Those Edomite elitists, they ain't gonna be dealing with you. They might fuck with you, but they ain't gonna be with you for a significant amount of time. And those are the ones that be doing the madness, man. I've seen it with my own eyes. Okay, they be doing the madness, man. Okay, so you gotta be careful whilst you're out there. But for the most part, man, they love us, man. Don't listen to what this guy is talking about. You can't deal with you can't deal with the prize that the Most High has bestowed upon us. The Most High said, look, man, this is your prize. And Jake is like, nah, man, she's white. And I wonder, is this the camp? I forget now. Is this the camp that was saying white woman is the chip? I can't remember. Is the mark of the beast? I can't remember. I know certain cats were saying white woman is the mark and all that. So I wonder if it's this camp. And no, white women are not the mark. A white woman is a white woman. Okay, she's there to be dealt with. She's wishing to be dealt with, looking through the window and all of that. Right, hoping for Dexter to turn up. Okay. Anyways, that's enough about women. Let's get back into the scriptures and let's get back to the prophecies, man. Let's put the focus and the focal point on the right thing, not this garbage that Jake is talking about right now. Within the last days, the last moments of this kingdom, and Jake wants to come out with these weirdo doctrines. Okay, these weirdo, non-scriptural, non-biblically based doctrines, and create all kind of confusion amongst the people, and contradictions that you see plainly, like our forefathers dealt with, with heathen women. I don't know what Jake's problem is right now, but they got their focus in the wrong place. In any event, with that, I'm going to say all praise unto Yahweh Shema Shai Bashim Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone and honors your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.